What are the most painful high school punishments? So we're going to start off at the least painful punishment and then go to the most painful punishments in school. Well, today we are about to find out because there's different punishments in different schools in different countries that are more painful than others. Starting things off with the least painful punishment, we have the dunce cap or the dunce cap. This dunce cap was used to shame unruly students and make them feel worthless. What the hell is that? It just looks like some sort of party hat. Then we have detention, and detention is obviously just a punishment where students are required to be in an undesirable place for a certain amount of time, in a place and time that they don't want to be there. Then we have chopping off hair, which is 0.1 dull on the pain scale. Then being tickled with a feather is 0.3 dull. Who the hell gets tickled with a feather by their teachers? That's crazy. Then you have gating, so you can't enter the establishment. Then the Kaza. A Kaza was a designated lockup room to incarcerate students. That's crazy. Then there's a 0.9 dull pain scale of wearing a sign. Then here we get into the painful stuff. Writing your name 100 times like Bart Simpson. Yes, it would be a little bit painful in your wrist. It might just be a little bit tired, but it won't be that bad. But they're only going to get more painful as the video goes along, so make sure you stick around till the end. Then we have standing in a corner, which burns around 200 calories. Then 20 push-ups is 1.5 dull. Then being screamed at for a long exposure could be 1.8 dull. Taking away the lunch, which makes you hungry, obviously nobody wants that. And then a punishment of holding in your pee is 2.5 dull on the pain scale. I ain't gonna lie to you, if I had to hold in my pee, I just wouldn't. I'll just pee on the floor. They're making me hold in my pee for as long as I possibly can. That would hurt. I mean, I'll do like a Cartman and pee on the desk or something. Next up, we have the teachers pinching you, which is 3 dull, and to be fair, that would really hurt. And then getting hit with a wooden ruler is 3.5 dull. Then being slapped, that is crazy. A father actually died from a game of slaps with his son. I never knew that. Then, the next punishment, you have to stand on a chair and pull your ears. Sorry? This was a punishment that happened both at school and at home at the time. So what, they just did this, to stand on a chair and pull their ears out. They look like a monkey. Then we have the hands up one. I actually had this in my school. My teacher back in the day used to make us raise our hand like this for a certain amount of time if we did something wrong. And it would make your arm so tired. It was so annoying. There was also the other one that they made us do that. We used to have our arms out like this and spin them in circles like this, then do big circles, and then back to little circles. You have to do it like 10 times, and it made your shoulders burn. Next up, we have kneeling on frozen peas, and that is 5.5 dull on the pain scale, and then being struck with a rubber band is 6 dull. The biggest rubber band was a world record of 700,000 rubber bands. Learn something new every day. Then being struck with an apple is a little bit more painful, but being poked with cactus needles is a 7 dull on the pain scale. What teacher is making their students get pricked with a cactus needle? That is literally torture. That's literally torture. But then next up, they have a 10-minute mile. Students have to run a mile in 10 minutes, which can sometimes cause exhaustion. That's not too fast, to be fair. Most people should be able to do that, and that causes 7 dull of pain. Next up, you have to wash your mouth with soap. So if you swear or anything, you gotta wash your mouth with soap for being naughty. That's 7.5 dull. And then a metal ruler on the knuckles is 8 dull. Ouch, that would hurt. Spraying lemon juice is next into your eyes, and then spanking comes in a little bit more painful at 9 dull. And then a vouch. In France, students left with the vouch were given the manual labour or corporal punishment. What the hell is a vouch? And equal pain to the vouch is slippering. The slipper may not have been as physically painful as the cane, but it was still painful. I can never imagine letting teachers do this to my kids. I can never imagine them. If they spanked my kids, I'll be livid. I'll be crashing out. That school would feel my wrath. By the way, guys, if you made it this far in this video, like and subscribe. It makes the video do really well, so please do that. Then at 10.5 dull, we have the forced handstands. Handstands put pressure on the wrists as they move deeper in extension. I don't think many people could do a handstand. Then we have chilies in the mouth at 11 dull and soap in the eye at 11.5. Who the hell is letting their children have soap in their eye from their teachers? There's not a chance. Even the chilies in the mouth. Scoville units are said to have topped up on the hotness scale of 3.18 million Scoville. There is no chance. I could barely survive a curry, let alone putting chilies in my mouth and eating them and swallowing them in a lesson. Actually, fun story. When I was in school, I had a ghost chili pepper with 2 of my friends, and we had £4 on our finger that we could spend on drinks and food for lunch. I spent all of my £4 on milk, and the second lesson, after lunch, I felt like I was gonna die. It was the worst experience of my life. Then we have foot whipping at 12 dull, and then getting hit on the funny bone, which is 13. Then we have picking up broken broken glass bare hand. What teacher ever allows that? I do not know. Don't they have to like swear an oath to be nice or something, or be the best of their ability? Or is that doctors? That I might have got that wrong. Then we have a cop attack. Back in the time of cops often used to beat students with batons as a display of power. Then we have whips. Whips were just whipping loads of people, obviously not good. And then reform school. A reform school was a penal institution known to some as the pain factory, which was considered 15 dull on the scale. I might be saying this wrong. Is it dull or dull? I don't know. Then we have vergona, translated as shame. Students punished under the systems were hit with wooden clogs. And then the Welsh knot. The Welsh knot was an item used in schools in Wales in the 18th and 19th century. And then the taways. What is a taways? It consists of a strip of leather with one end split into oh my, is it like a whip? That sounds horrible. And that is 18.5 dull on the pain scale. Then we have the murga, and this is a stress position. And then caning is 22 dull on the scale. If you don't know what caning is, well, you're probably quite silly, but that is horrible. Then in some countries, you're made to stare at the sun for 5 minutes. That is mental. So you just go blind for doing something wrong in school. That's 26 dull of pain. I just wouldn't do it. I just would not do that. Then in some countries, you're made to swallow glass. Broken glass can cut your throat, esophagus, and your stomach if it gets stuck. You can literally die from that. You can cut a blood vessel. Then in some other countries, you get tased. And then 37 dull of pain dangled over smoking hot chilies. Aztec children were punished by being held over smoking habanero peppers. What the? Oh my god. That is crazy. Again, how are people allowing this to happen? Surely this is like some child safety thing. I know it says Aztec children, but like imagine that happening like today. That would be viral everywhere. That would go on every news source, everything ever. It would be like one of the biggest scandals of all time. No one would believe it even happened. Like even tasing some students. That's a bit crazy for me. But I'd argue the craziest one is swallowing broken glass. Like what? You just expect to die? Is that the whole point of it? You swallow broken glass and just die. Like, great. Thanks for that, guys. Then at $40 pain, police charged a Nigerian teacher for tying late students to a crucifix. What in the Jesus Christ is going on here? Then in Kenya, 3 Kenyan school teachers went into hiding in 2018 after doing this to a poor child. Well, they kicked that poor child in the bollocks. What is going on? That's $52 pain. That's almost like maxing out the pain scale here. I can't believe that. Kicking a student in the penis is crazy. But that is still not the craziest, because the craziest punishment that has ever happened in schools is being stung by a velvet ant native to the USA. This is actually a type of wasp called the cow killer, and it causes $55 of pain. Oh my days. Imagine sitting in class after being bitten by a velvet ant nicknamed the cow killer. I mean, put up a cow killer on screen right now. Look at it. That is crazy. Imagine getting nibbled on by that, and there's like loads of them all over your skin just nibbling at you. That is horrible. But there you have it. These are the worst school punishments in the world. Make sure to like and subscribe. Oh, and one more thing. Bye.